Imagine your world falling apart in front of you. You and your family are separated, you're being drug out of your own home without your belongings, and you're not being told the truth about where you're going or what's going to happen to you. Growing up, and even now, I continue to watch documentaries on the Holocaust. It truly amazes me. So I asked my audience what tragic event Elie Wiesel was associated with, and only a few of them knew it was the Holocaust, but many of them did agree that discrimination against Jews still exists today. Elie Wiesel was born on September 30th, 1928, and he was Jewish. Elie Wiesel went through tragedies that would tear any man apart and killed many, but Elie survived. Not only did he survive, but he survived Auschwitz, he received a Nobel Peace Prize, and he also created programs and foundations that encourage humanity and show the horrors of the Holocaust in hopes to avoid similar mistakes in the future. Elie Wiesel's first triumph was definitely Auschwitz, surviving it. Never shall I forget that night, the first night at camp that turned my life into one long night, 7 times cursed and 7 times sealed. That is a quote taken directly from the book Night, written by Elie Wiesel himself. The town of Sayet was lost to Hungary during the Second Vienna Award, and in 1944 the Wiesels were sent to a ghetto in Sayet. Everything truly fell apart, though, on May 6, 1944, when the Wiesels were deported to Auschwitz along with the other Jews from Sayet. Unfortunately, Elie Wiesel and his father were sent to Auschwitz while being separated from his mother and 3 sisters. Like I had said, the book Night shows the hardships they went through while at Auschwitz. His days consisted of strict orders, starving, working hard until he couldn't possibly work anymore, and even freezing to death, let alone being beaten as well. One piece of advice Elie Wiesel and his father shared with people around them was to not waste their last bit of strength weeping. I think that is a major reason why he came out on top and he survived, was because of his positive attitude and encouragement to others. The German armies forced everyone into freight cars, and out of the 20,000 people that were in there, their trip was to Buchenwald. They did not know that, though, but only 6,000 out of 20,000 prisoners survived upon arrival at Buchenwald. Unfortunately, Wiesel's father passed away from dysentery, starvation, and exhaustion only a few short months before Buchenwald was liberated. I can't imagine the feeling Elie Wiesel went through when he knew he was liberated, yet his father was not with him, and he was so close to being liberated as well. Elie Wiesel didn't just survive Auschwitz, he also received a Nobel Peace Prize in 1986. One who receives the Nobel Peace Prize shall have done the most or the best work for fraternity between nations, for the abolition or reduction of standing armies, and for the holding and promotion of peace congresses. The committee believed he deserved this award because he has emerged as one of the most spiritual leaders in an age when violence, repression, and racism characterize the world. Elie Wiesel did all of that and then some. Wiesel's message is one of peace, and he believes that the forces fighting evil can be victorious. His own experience of humiliation in the concentration camps is what gave him the motivation to fight for peace. Another big factor, though, is his willingness to enlighten the world about the concentration camps, and later continuing on to enlighten the world regarding Jews and the other persecuted groups as well. Lastly, the impact Wiesel has given on the world with his programs and foundations is tremendous. Elie Wiesel and his wife created the Elie Wiesel Foundation of Humanity that fights 3 different things: indifference, intolerance, and injustice, by international dialogues and youth groups that promote another 3 things. It promotes acceptance, understanding, and equality. The foundation is a catalyst for action and change. They discuss peace, education, terrorism, and environment. They discuss the social problems and suggest change. This foundation will continue on enlightening the world every day. What an amazing man! So strong, so kind, and so courageous. Most men do not go through something like Elie Wiesel did and come out on top. The Holocaust resulted in the death of 6 million Jews, and Elie Wiesel does not want us to forget that. Those 6 million people live. They live in us, they live in the book Night, and they live in museums. Surviving Auschwitz was not likely for anyone at that time, but neither was becoming a well-known author or even getting a Nobel Peace Prize. Elie Wiesel did all of this from the good in his heart and the strength his life has given him. Could you have survived what Elie Wiesel did?